I just saw a video where a certain somebody said that they think that I'm a cooperator, that I'm a witness in this whole indictment. I just want to clarify. If the feds hit me up, I'm gonna sit with the feds. I'm gonna have a conversation with them. I see a lot of people saying that 22 is the reason why Bricc got caught up. Get out of here. So much for being fresh. If the feds watching, I made it 41 years into this life before I had involvement, conversation with federal agents.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, if y'all remember a few days ago, when it first came out that Big U, Bricc Baby, and Luce were all arrested, due to them being in a RICO indictment, Adam went all on his social media stating that he has nothing to do with it, nor does his podcast. He assured everyone that these guys got their own problems and outside dealings going on that has nothing to do with no jumper, despite us being told that one of the main reasons Luce is locked up is due to what he's been saying during his interviews. Also, academics shared that according to the indictment, it says that about 30 to 40% of it is traced back to podcasts or online back and forth. Threats, plots, and incidents seem to be directly related to online beefing, podcasting, which heighten tension. Which is crazy because if y'all pay attention, never have I thought in a million years I would be alive to see street guys getting indicted due to them posting things on social media when all they had to do was not post. Keep in mind 30 to 40% is a very large percentage, especially when it all just is from social media banter. Kinda crazy. Now, of course, at the time, Adam will make fun of the situation as he will repost academics' posts and caption in his story saying, quote, "I thought they were just joking around." Now, aside from that, Adam would take no responsibility at all to the situation as he reposted an article about the indictment and he would say, quote, "Sometimes people say things on the show that make me think, can't you get in trouble for that?" Now that's ironic because one of the main reasons people are saying things that can get them in trouble is because they're answering a question that Adam asks. And if Adam isn't asking the questions, Remo is sure to ask incriminating questions as well, in which I'm sure is all for the sake of these guys trying to catch a viral moment for the pod. However, like I always tell y'all, as much as these guys are trying to catch a viral moment, they have to remember that not only are regular people watching, but it's also the police. So while you're trying to catch a viral moment, just know you might, but then again, you might just go viral for all the wrong reasons instead. Now on another note, another story post that Adam put up before being visited by the feds as he claimed, he would say, quote, "I talked to Luce and he said everything they're trying to put on him is just ish he said on podcast. First thing he said when he called was, how was the episode from last night doing? Free the Crips." Now once again, he's making a mockery of the situation, but here's what him or Luce is not understanding because they're saying everything they're trying to put on him is just stuff he said on podcast. Key phrase is he said on podcast. I'm not sure if Luce is aware of it because maybe he's downplaying it, but just think about it like this. If they have Big U on a RICO indictment saying that he's accused of fraud and extortion, and then they have you on podcast admitting who you extorted for Big U and when you did it, you don't think you're a part of that? If they're charging him for setting the play, what makes you think they're not going to charge you for being the one that actually carried it out? And they don't need much evidence because they have you admitting it on platform. I've heard Luce speak on Meek Mill alleged extortion situation on 3 different occasions. His own platform, No Jumper, and DJ Academics. So I don't know. I just think maybe Luce isn't taking it too serious, but maybe he's just unaware and not really sure what's going on. Anyway, let's get into Adam coming out and telling the world, despite him acting like he's never been questioned and he don't have anything to do with the indictment, he has in fact been visited by the feds, according to him. Now, he didn't exactly disclose for what, but he did say that soon he will be talking about it on No Jumper, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, let's get into him addressing what happened, but before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
So much for being fresh. If the Fed's watching, I made it 41 years into this life before I had involvement, conversation with federal agents. And when they showed up, I was wearing a red Nike Tech. Not exactly the definition of fresh, but I got a crazy update. I'm going to do the Good Diligent podcaster thing, and I'm going to save it for tomorrow at 4 p.m. with Luce and some surprise guests. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. 22ster has got a big update. Tap inwardly.
Adam will make another story post saying, quote, "The feds came knocking on my door today. We'll be filling y'all in on what they wanted from me at 4 p.m. Wednesday on YouTube." Then, of course, people called him out for just wanting to insert himself into the situation for content purposes, so they accused him also of lying. One user would say, quote, "He finna troll. They ain't come to his crib," laughing emoji. Another user would say, quote, "Ultimate culture vulture." Adam would strike back in a story post and say, quote, "Anyone who thinks I'm lying, this is on the dead homies." Now, you know it's funny, he plays with the gang culture and it's allowed. Like, it used to be a time back in the days where you couldn't say like the blood terminology or the Crip terminology if you wasn't a part of it, and if you did, they was gonna see you about it. And especially making a mockery of what they take serious, because it's literally guys that passed away for the sake of the game, right? Now, here's the thing about this whole situation. You'll never know what's real and what's fake with these guys because they use any and everything for the sake of content. It's literally no sense of integrity or line being drawn when it comes to these situations, and this is why these guys are in what they're in now. Adam's trolling because he knows he got nothing to worry about because he's not the one doing the dirt. He's just profiting off allowing guys who is doing the dirt tell their story on his platform and benefit from it while they get penalized. See, Adam's favorite thing is, I give guys a job, I give them a platform to help them out. But here's the question, are you really helping? Yes, you give guys a platform to spew out incriminating things, and they don't know any better because all they know is they're getting attention and pay for it in the process. But here's what y'all don't understand, and this goes back to years of things like this happening amongst our groups and others. Every time something happens at No Jumper, Adam always claims he's not the reason or he backs away from it. But what he's doing is benefiting off y'all issues, and when things hit the fan, he back away from it and you're left suffering the consequences behind it. You're basically being used in a sense. By you putting certain information out there and outing this person or that person, afterwards you may have to protect yourself and or your family because of what you said. Meanwhile, Adam don't have to worry about a thing. His family good, his wife, daughter, children, they're all good. But you're left with the burden, whether it's the police or your ops, or because you decided to get on the podcast and say too much street business. It just don't work. I don't know how much more indictments or how much arrests are gonna have to transpire before guys realize that these podcasts are dangerous. Certain ones. When did it even become cool to even speak on certain things on social media in the first place? And why do they allow these guys to ask certain questions? Shout out to Big Homie CC. Recently, he called out Adam22 on Cam Capone platform because he says that Adam's interviews was nothing but weird. He didn't ask him about any of the questions that usually he would to go viral over, but instead, he asked him his own weird versions of questions like Adam typically does. And aside from Adam, man, rappers or whoever, stay away from these platforms that trick you into incriminating yourself. I can't tell you how much rappers I see go on these podcasts, and 90% of the conversation is about street business, and only 10% of it is about music. If that. right? So don't get tricked out your bag, y'all. Y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this. How do you feel about Adam saying that the feds came to his house and what you think they asked him? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. I'm out.